1390 looks to be alone in town. Yeah, say what you like about World of Tanks, whether you like it, whether you hate it, what you like about the game, what you hate about the game, but really, when it comes to World of Tanks, there can't be anything more satisfying than a good ammo rack. Oh, Hi folks, and welcome to the Ace Tanker for the Batignolles Châtillon 12T, the new Tier 8 French light tank introduced into the game with the recent light tank changes, replacing the AMX 1390 at Tier 8 with the 1390 moving to Tier 9. Now, we might as well start with the history, because the history for this tank was pretty difficult to track down. Mainly because this is a tank that only existed as a partially completed prototype. In 1947, FCM, AMX and Batignolles Châtillon were competing in a tender from the French government to design a new light tank in the 12-ton range. 12-ton range so that it could be airlifted and used for rapid deployment. Now in 1950, Batchat had finished their tank, but it was missing a turret, as you can see here. And this is about the only image of it I could find. But anyway, you could see that the turret isn't designed, and it's mounted further back on the tank than it is in-game. So this was a rear-mounted turret in real life, or it was going to be a rear-mounted turret in real life, but in-game it's actually central-mounted. But regardless, in September 1951, the French government awarded the contract to AMX, and as a result, further development and trials on the Batchat 12T were cancelled. But we do have a version of this tank in-game. And as you can see here, rather than being a rear-mounted turret, the turret is center-mounted, so I don't know what the design for that was. It was basically something that Wargaming decided would make the tank maybe a little bit different, because this is the only Batchat, it's the only tank that isn't an AMX on the French light tank line, so maybe to make it a little bit different, they added the turret central-mounted as opposed to rear-mounted like the other AMX tanks. Otherwise, it would just be a clone. That's the only reason I can think of for the turret being moved from the rear to the center. But regardless, because a turret wasn't designed, this turret and this oscillating turret with this autoloader, they are fiction, because again, we have no idea what the turret was going to be or what the gun was going to be, but you know, we have the tank in game regardless. Now this is a tank I really want to like. We're done with the history, but this is a tank I really thought I'd like. I really want to like, because it's fast, it's maneuverable, and it gets a great camo rating. But the problem I'm having with this tank is I'm really struggling to get wins in it. I've had very few bad games in this tank. In fact, most of the games I've been playing in this tank have either been top or top 3, but it's been loss after loss after loss, and in a lot of those games, I don't think there's anything I could have done, at least at my skill level, to try and turn them into wins. It's just I've been getting some incredibly bad teams, some incredibly bad matchups. It doesn't matter whether I'm a tier 8 in a tier 10 game, or top tier like I am in this game in a tier 8 game. It's just my team seemed to want to lose, and you know, in fact, I've played 17 games in this tank. I've only got 17 games played in this tank, and I did play it from stock, which is a negative for the tank, because this is a Batchat and it's not an AMX, and that means that none of the modules on this tank at tier 8 are unlocked on the tank. You've got to unlock every single module before fully upgrading this, because it doesn't share any modules with any of the other French light tanks, because they're all AMXs. But as I say, I've played 17 games in this tank to basically get it up from stock to fully upgraded. I fully upgraded everything. As I say, it took me 17 games, and I have the worst win rate of any tank I have ever played in World of Tanks. I've got the worst win rate. I've got an amazing 29% win rate after 17 games in this tank. And it's part of it maybe because I was playing it stock, but you know, most of it is that it's just not a very good tank. I just can't win in it, and my average damage, my average XP in the game, in the tank, are very, well, I won't say they're very good, but they're good, and certainly don't reflect the horrible win rate, but I just can't win in this tank. But regardless, we might as well look at the stats, because I'll show you why I don't think this is a very good tank. So we're going to compare the Batchat 12T against all the other Tier 8 light tanks in the game, including the M4190GF. And straight away you could see that it seems to be all negatives, because we've got the worst DPM of any of the Tier 8 light tanks that have been released so far. It's got the joint worst penetration, joint worst with the LTTB at 170mm of penetration, up against Tier 10s, not fun. But not only that, but it gets the joint worst alpha damage compared to any of the tanks up here joining the Bulldog. So even the LTTB, which gets the joint worst penetration, has more alpha, and the Bulldog, which has the same alpha, has slightly better penetration. So it's got the worst penetration, it's got the worst damage, it's got the worst or second worst potential damage. You get a decent amount of ammunition in the tank for an autoloader at 52 rounds, but it's got the second worst potential damage. And while people praise the gun on this tank, I find the gun really annoying too, because you've got the worst aim time, the joint worst aim time, along with the WZ-132. You've got the second worst gun dispersion. In the garage this is 0.38, in Tankster G it's 0.36, but second worst accuracy. The soft gun stats are joint worst as well. I mean, compared to all the other light tanks, it's got the joint worst gun handling while the tank is on the move or during traverse. So it's not good. It's got the second worst gun depression of 6 degrees, and it's got the worst gun elevation of 13 degrees. So, this is not a good gun. The accuracy isn't there, and the gun handling isn't there, even though it's not terrible. And some people praise the gun handling. I don't know why, because as I say, compared to the other tanks, it's as good as, if not worse. So what we do have is one positive for the tank, which is its mobility. It's actually okay regarding its top speed, 68 kilometers an hour, but again, it's nothing special. It's similar to the other Tier 8s. Only a couple of tanks are worse, and the Bulldog is slightly better, the premium Bulldog. The reverse speed is okay. Again, it's average, so this gets praised for its mobility, but its top speed is average, its reverse speed is average compared to the other lights. The engine power is a little bit less, but because it's a lighter tank, the power to weight ratio is average. It's nothing special. And then the terrain resistance, once again, nothing special on the tank. It doesn't set it apart from any of the others in that terrain resistance worse than some tanks, better than some tanks, but it does have the worst terrain resistance, almost the worst terrain resistance while traversing. So even though you're quite fast, it's got the worst tank traverse, it's got the worst ground resistance while trying to turn your tank. Only the Bulldog is slightly worse, so there's really nothing special here either about its mobility. It's a French light tank, so as you would expect, it gets almost no armor, so you pretty much can't really compare the armor, even though a lot of the other tanks have it beaten. And the view range is absolutely awful. It's got a 380 meter view range compared to all the other tanks, most of which have it beaten, joint worst with the LTTB and the WZ-132. So even the view range doesn't make this tank special. It's even got the joint or top worst rate of fire, or rate of going on fire chance. So I'm getting tongue-tied here. So really, there's nothing special about this tank. It's either the worst of all the Tier 8 light tanks, or it's simply average. There's nothing here on this screen that says that this tank is better than any of the other light tanks, that this tank does anything better than the other light tanks. It is just a big disappointment, but this doesn't give you all the information. Because the one place that the Châtillon 12T does shine is its camo rating, which comes in at an impressive 18.35. Now, previously, the WZ-132, camo was the Chinese light tanks, that was their strength. Camo, they may not be the fastest, most mobile, best armored, best gun, but they had great camo rating, So a lot of Chinese tanks, that was their thing. Well, the Batchat 12T has come in and they've stolen the crown, because the camo rating on the 12T is very good, and that is the only positive I can come up with for this tank, because everything else about the tank is either bad or average. It's just not a very good Tier 8 light tank. And as I say, when you get it into Tier 10 games, the gun is completely useless, and even when you get it into decent games where you're top tier or mid tier, the penetration, the accuracy on the gun is going to let you down. At the low alpha damage, you've only got a clip size of 4, so you can only do alpha damage of about 680. That means that you can't even one clip an enemy light tank. You're in your tier 8 light tank, you meet an enemy tier 8 light tank, you don't have enough alpha, or if you hit and pin all your shots, you don't have enough alpha to kill an enemy light tank, and then they can take your time and kill you while you're reloading. So it's a very, very difficult tank to play. It's very unlike pretty much any of the other light tanks, or even any of the other autoloaders. Most of the other French autoloaders can one-clip, light tanks of their own tier, but this one can't. So, yes, you can argue it's an assassin. The mobility isn't terrible. The camo rating is good, but you've got bad view range. So it's compared to other light tanks, it's not even an amazing spotter. So yeah, camo rating is about the only positive. Oh, and as I've already mentioned, yeah, because this is a bat chat and not an AMX, you've got to unlock every single module with XP. So, it doesn't share any of its modules with the other French light tanks. So it's not a good tank stock, and it just takes a while to get through. So it took me 17 games to fully upgrade it. 17, most of which were losses. But this is the first ace in the tank, and I'm probably, even though I'm disliking the tank mainly because of its win rate at the moment, I'm probably going to hang on to it because I cannot let a tank have a 29% win rate. I'm going to have to keep playing it at least till I get my win rate up to about 50% before I feel okay about it. But regardless, we are here on Malinovka. I am top tier in a tier 8 game, and there are 3 Arty on the enemy team, and this is one of these rare occasions where I have an opportunity to play my mission. Let's see, there it is. Yes, so this is a patch 9.20 game, and I was going to record this video a few days ago, and I went to start recording it, and World of Tanks launched, and all of a sudden started updating it, and before I knew it, I had patch 9.20.1, and all the videos I was planning to bring to you over the last few days, I couldn't, because I had to get a new copy of 9.20 from somewhere, and it took me 48 hours to download this bloody thing. So my computer has been on for the last 48 hours. I finished downloading it about an hour ago, and this is the first video I'm making. But yeah, that's where the videos have been for the last couple of days. But you can see that I'm on LT7, the SPG Hunter. Spot 3 enemy SPGs and cause damage to them, and destroy at least one. So as well as surviving and winning the battle. Now, I've been stuck on this flaming mission for ages. It's the for the Tier 4 tank. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but yeah, I've been stuck on this mission forever, and this is an opportunity to get this mission done. Spot 3 Arty, damage 3 Arty, kill 1, survive and win. Top tier, autoloader, 3 Arty on the enemy team, and on a map that's quite good for scouts. I thought this was my opportunity to get the mission done, so that's why if you see me play a little bit erratically or make some strange decisions, I'm trying to get this flaming mission done. Anyway, we are going to go. And yeah, away we go. So first replay I'm trying with this new 920 client, and you can see the acceleration is okay. We're getting up to 68 kilometers an hour, and we can do that easily. So it's a relatively fast and mobile tank, but nothing special. The gun is the biggest disappointment for me because the burst damage from the clip is poor, the penetration is poor, the alpha is poor. It's like the accuracy is poor. It's not a sniper, but 3 Arty on the enemy team. I'm a little bit worried, and I'm trying to spot 3 Arty here. So, okay, there's a 12T in the bushes. Can we get a shot in? Yeah, we can. We can pick up a kill, but M10 spotted. And yeah, they just snap shooting at this. Not amazing. But we do get 2 shots into the Panther M10, and now I'm wondering, should I move? Because there are 3 Arty, they're probably going to be aiming at me. We're getting assistance damage, 12T appears on the enemy team. Okay, so, alright, just the 12T. Oh, there's the Arty, and immediately you can see me looking to where the Arty is. So now I know that the Hummel's an A5. I'm trying to get this mission done, and I'm just looking for an opportunity to burst over the ridge here and basically try and find a 3 Arty, kill the 3 Arty. But I know where the Hummel is now, and we're going to relocate. So we've got plenty of tanks on the one line, plenty of tanks have gone up the hill, and we're just going to try and do maybe a little bit of spotting here, hoping someone will push forward, get some spots, and there we go. So we can start doing some damage here, because even though I'm a light tank, I'm top tier, and I've said it in recent videos that if you're a top tier, it doesn't matter if you're in a light tank, you're a damage dealer. You can't sit back and do the scout role if you're top tier, because you're in a tank that's better than most of the medium tanks on the enemy team if you're top tier. and you've got to do some damage. You've got to take more responsibility than simply being a scout. So the reload is about 18-19 seconds, depending on your crew, depending on consumables. So reload is okay, and we're just waiting here. See if we can get a little bit more damage done. Someone's taking shots at me. My sixth sense hasn't gone off, so I'm wondering, maybe they were just shooting the T-34-85M and it went long. So advancing. Maybe try and push the ridge here, see if we can get some spots over the ridge, because our team on the hill aren't pushing. So they're in a position to get spots, but they're not pushing. So KV-2 is spotted. And that's a nice shot. As I say, this is not a sniper. You can see how high that shot went. And yeah, it's definitely not a sniper, but we do manage to get 2 of those shots in. So yeah, and you can imagine trying to take shots like that against tier 10s. It's just not going to work. So the accuracy and the penetration let this tank down, as well as the low clip potential. But we're going to move up, maybe try and pick up a couple of kills. We can get a kill there. 132, and we can get that kill. Oh, Stridsvagen 74. Oh, no, that one goes into the ground. Go for a blind shot, and okay, reloading again. But now again, once again, I'm wondering, can I get my mission done? Can I advance and maybe try and kill the 3 RT? The hill, yeah, there's still 2 tanks that were spotted over on the 0 line. And our tanks have fallen back, so now I'm wondering, okay, if our tanks have fallen back on the hill, they're not going to get spots on the hill. Maybe I can spot the hill, or maybe I should just go in advance and kill RT, but a heavy tank appears in front of me, the OI. Now, I don't really have enough penetration to pen this guy, and I realize that now, so there's no point in even shooting him. Tanks appearing on the enemy, on the hill, and there we go. So, turn around, hopefully be able to support the tanks over there, but the 0 line is starting to collapse. This KV-2 needs to keep reversing. No! Okay. 12T is over there. Keep reversing, KV-2. Keep reversing. Oh, there we go. So we can take out the KV-2. Still the Stridsvagen on the hill, but I get spotted. And now there's still 3 RT in play. So I'm going to get on the move, not going to sit in the bushes. And all the time I'm wondering when am I going to go for this RT? If I leave it too late, someone else is going to spot an RT. So, trying to get some spots, trying to damage deal, trying to do everything as top tier. So, not much to shoot out to the OI, and as I say, I've only got 170 millimeters of penetration, can't damage him. Thankfully, let RT kill him. So now I'm wondering, do I go? I've only got 3 shots, do I go for a reload? Oh, you could see me getting so itchy here. I want to get this mission done. I've been stuck on this mission for about 3 months. But there's still a Stridsvagen up here. And I'm getting itchy feet. Do I go do the mission? Okay, there's the Stridsvagen. Not much to shoot at. Okay, there we go. So I've got 2 shots left. And the enemy are pushing the 0 line, so now I've got to... are pushing the 1 line, so now I've got to go help the 1 line. So get 2 shots into the Sterer Waffenträger. And I'm on a reload, and I'm figuring it's now or never. It's now or never. Alright, go. Let's go. I didn't get spotted. Enemy batshot went down. I've got to spot 3 RT, I've got to damage 3 RT, and I've got to kill 1. And then win and survive. So here we go. So I'm on 5 kills. Whoops, I forgot to change this. There we go. So 5 kills, need to spot 3 RT. Oh, T-34-85, ignore him. There's 1 damaged. I've spotted, well, 3 RT are on the mini-map. Who spotted the one on the other side? Okay, there's 2. So I'm not sure. All 3 RT have been spotted, but I'm not sure if I spotted the one on the other side. But, okay, so I've killed 1. I've got 1 shot left. The GW Panther looks as if he's drowning himself. Oh, no, I've got to kill him. I've got to kill him before he drowns himself, and I'm not even sure if I spotted him. But, no, I missed. Okay, only 1 chance here. Oh, okay, now that's the mission done. If I spotted the GW Panther, I have now damaged 3 enemy RT. I destroyed 1, but 7 kills. Only one tank left on the enemy team, and yeah, I don't know if I've done my mission. I don't know who spotted the GW Panther on the other side. Those two tanks on the other side didn't have good view range, so I'm just wondering, was it me who spotted them? Was it the tanks on the other side? But I've killed one, damaged 3, technically killed 2, damaged 3, and now we're looking for our 8th kill, looking for the Radley Walters. And mission, I'm praying that I manage to get the other guy, but Stairs there, and we can take him out for kill number 8. So there we go. That's my first ace in the Batchat 12T, and a rare event in this tank in that I actually bloody won. So, first ace in the tank, and it wasn't a loss. We picked up the Radley Walters, picked up a Pascucci's for killing 2 of the 3, picked up high caliber, and managed to pick up the automatic top gun. And while we managed to do all of that, we failed. We failed to do our mission because I only spotted 2 of the 3 arty. I didn't spot the GW Panther, unfortunately. You can see that here. So, mission is not done. Thankfully, in 9.20.1, the mission has been made a little bit easier. Now I only have to damage 2 enemy RT and survive and win, or damage, spot and damage 2 and kill 1 maybe, I'm not sure, but the mission is definitely a lot easier in 9.21, but there we go, the Batchat 12T. We finished top on XP with 1250, which isn't too bad considering I was top tier, shooting a lot of similar tier, lower tier tanks, so decent XP total if you're top tier. Almost 2.7k damage, 8 kills, and finished with 26 shots fired, only managed to hit 19 and pen 18. Now that's a rare occurrence for this tank because the penetration, if you're a tier 8 and a tier 10 game, your penetration is really going to lack, but thankfully in this game we were able to pen the tanks we were facing, so I was happy with the damage. Spotted 5, damaged 11, destroyed 8, did 1692 assistance damage, and finished up with 32,000 credits with a premium account. First game of the day, left me on 3,750, so yeah, Batchat 12T. I don't hate the tank, I just hate the way I can't get wins in it. I hate the way I can't carry in this tank because the gun is so bad. I hate the way that this tank really doesn't do anything that the other tier 8 light tanks can't do as well, if not better. And the only positive I can come up with for the Batchat 12T is the fact it's got a very good camo rating. And that's it. You know, even the view range is amongst the worst of the tier 8 light tanks. So it's not a very good tier 8, but even though I'd love to sell it, I just can't have a win rate of 29% on my record, so I'm going to keep playing it and hope I can get that up to 70 or 50, maybe even 55%, but yeah, it's not a terrible tank, it does the job, but it's not as good as any of the other tier 8s, I think. I'd much rather be playing the other tier 8s than this one, but it's done, it's dusted. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.